coming. Hooper, get clear of the barrel. Hooper! Tie it up, will you?
Your turn, Quinn.
Hooper, where are you?
Hooper, hurry it up now, tie it on. Hurry it up, he's coming straight for us. Don't screw it up now.
Don't wait for me.
Come on, Hooper, come on, hurry up, tie it on!
Now.
Kill it, quick! Kill it! Now! Shoot! Time! What were you doing? You knew I had to get a clean shot right in the head. All right, let's see how long that barrel takes to bring him up.
It's not a rare condition that happened to him. His fingers got all pruned cause he loved to swim. A few more minutes out on his raft. Probably not a good idea to splash. Well, there must have been some special thing that brought the fish his way. Cause that was his fate as the great white ate. And Alex bursting out into the sea. A kid just died, but I sure hope they don't close the beach. His mother cried, but the message screw his family. A kid just died. We're sorry that he's not alive no more, but I gotta open up my souvenir store. A kid just died, but the message screw his family. JAWGUST is back once again. Jaws is 50, so I thought, my friends, for you to come with me as I go back to Amity. A 31-day podcast, talking 4 minutes of Jaws each day. It will be another month-long show for me, and I hope to see you there, 'cause JAWGUST is back again. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday, August 22nd, which means it's the 22nd day of JAWGUST, which means it's the 22nd day of Golden JAWGUST, which means for the 22nd day in a row, I'm here podcasting about 4 minutes of Jaws. And you may not know this, but this is like the third time I've recorded that intro, because I started realizing that I was saying 22nd, which it shouldn't be. It should be the 22nd, right? 2 ND, second, third,
fourth. The th doesn't come in with that, and then they just give up. I mean, think about it. You know, first gets its own ST, okay. Second gets its own ND. Third gets its own RD. And then friggin' that's it. Fourth through what? 12th. 4 through 12 just get the th. I mean, I wasn't expecting to do some, numbers improv tonight, but here we are. It's Friday. It's crazy. Anything can happen on a Friday in JAWGUST. Well, not anything. One thing that will always happen is you will get a sitcom theme song today. I wanted to say we go back to the 90s, but in truth, we go back to the 80s. A decade I'm not all that familiar with and don't focus almost all of my pop culture love at. Yes, Family Matters started back in 1989. I always think of it as the 90s. In fact, I don't think I started watching it until probably 1990. This isn't a Family Matters podcast, but I just had to mention it. It's not going to be like Family Matters where all of a sudden I start talking about Steve Urkel and he takes over as the main character. Nope. We're done with Family Matters. Let's focus on Jaws. And yes, the song is about Alex Kittner. It doesn't really fit in this segment of the movie, but to be honest, I wrote most of those lyrics back in July. So I finished it off the other night, the same night that I had this whole area of the house to myself where I did the heart song and screamed like a madman. I had a little voice left, and I did, I recorded this. I just recorded it last night, but I wrote the lyrics weeks ago. So it's about Jaws. So that's all that really matters. It fits the theme, and that's all I strive for. You know what else fits the theme? You wouldn't think it, but gambling. My wife and I, we took my dad to the casino up in Nashua, New Hampshire again. Today was my wife's first day back at work. Like summer's over, so her first day. No students or anything, but she's back, like the first day meetings and all this stuff. And she was like, "I think I want to go to the casino one more time before kind of school really starts next week." I said, "That's a wonderful idea. Let's take a little money and go lose it, because that's generally what happens over the years, though we have had a little luck at this place." And mind you, we are not high rollers. I'm not even sure we're low rollers. I'm not even sure we're rollers at all. We took $30 each. We just go around to the machines. I don't know what I'm doing. I will not play any tables. I am too intimidated, and I don't have the know-how, nor the confidence to do it, nor the money. I'll pay the little 80 cents to play the slot machine, and then I won 1,000 pennies. Congratulations! But we did come up. We both came out $10 on top, so we left with more money than we came with. So obviously, we're really good at gambling, and we're going to keep doing it. It's how we're going to subsidize our income. Is that the right word? I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, why does it matter? I'm wearing my Jaws t-shirt. That's one thing. It's Friday. And there was a slot machine called, well, I don't know what it was called, but there was a shark on it. And I'll put a picture of it in the show notes, because I won like $15 off of 20 cents, which, again, I am not a high roller. The fact that I had $10 on this, like, you use a slip, you don't use cash. You put money and then you work off a slip. And I turned that into $20-something. To me, I felt like I'm like, I doubled my money. I'm rich. I wasn't rich, but my soul was enriched. And sometimes being enriched is better than being rich, I guess. I don't know. I've never been rich, so I can't compare it. But I did win, $14 on that one slot machine, and it was so satisfying. And there was a shark on it, and that's actually why I went to it, because the shark was on. I said, "This is it. It was made for JAWGUST. This, I'm going to come out of this winning big," and I came out of it winning something. So I'll take it, and it just proves my my theory that gambling is a worthwhile pursuit, and I am glad that I'm just so damn good at it. All right, let's talk some Jaws. So today, on day 22, we're talking about minutes 90 to 94. There are some definite memorable moments in these 4 minutes, but it's almost like we're picking up in the middle of action and we're ending in the middle of another kind of classic moment. I feel like in the next couple days, certain things get cut. Like I'm very happy that the first shot of the shark, sticking his head up from yesterday, that was like right in the action. It was right in the middle of it. And I didn't lose like, oh, and then this happens, and then we have to wait until tomorrow to discuss it even further. There's some of that happening in the next few minutes, in the next few days, I should say. But still, we get some great moments with this 4 minutes. It picks up. We see Hooper, down working with his doodads, while Quint is, on top. He's got his harpoon gun ready to go, and he's yelling, Hooper, where are you? Hooper's, getting his whatever he's getting. He comes out and he's like, come on, the shark's coming. And Hooper says, don't wait for me. It's a good thing he did wait for you, because it seemed like the timing wise, if he shot any earlier, you'd be screwed. But there was a few things happening that I was trying to make sense of. I always thought that Brody's, when he's like, come on, kill it. I think he was being naive. I always thought he was being naive. Like, Quint's not expecting to kill the beast here. He's just expecting to get the first kind of chip, the first shot. That's why he has the barrel there, because he's not expecting the thing to die right there. He's expecting the barrel to, it to wound the shark, but the barrel to kind of keep an idea of where he is. At least that's what I think. Unless, of course, he thinks he can take this fish down right now and the barrel will mark where the dead fish is. Maybe that's the case, because, after the shot goes off and the keg goes over, he does say, Hooper, what were you doing? I had a headshot. So maybe, I think the last few times watching this, I was thinking, oh, Brody, you're being naive. But I realized, nope, I think Brody was right. And Quint probably was going for the headshot right there. Boom, here it is. Kill it. Get the, or at least mortally wound it. It'll bleed out and the barrel will mark where it is. Maybe that was the original plan. But one thing I want to note about this 4 minutes is what happens immediately after the clip at the beginning. Immediately after he, at the end of that, he says, let's see how long this barrel takes to bring him up. Hooper runs up to the helm and he yells out, that he's going to bring it back around, get another barrel ready. And right after that, it is the music. The music right there. Everyone talks about John Williams and the dun 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 dun, and how it is it's a stand-in for the shark, and how it is like the march of the shark, and it's just how it's ominous and it's classic, and all that is right, all that is correct, all that is valid. But what they sometimes don't talk about enough is all the other amazing music in Jaws. If you notice, like, I play that Jaws theme at the very beginning when I do the JAWGUST, that stuff. But it's never the background music. The background music is always the Ben Gardner's boat, and then from there on out, in the little background, I have the end titles playing of the music from the end, because there's so much great music, including this very jaunty, adventurous, like, I don't even know what you'd call it, like pirate music. Not pirate music, but just like adventure, action adventure.
Bring another barrel! I'm coming around again!
Listen to that. I feel like there should be a swashbuckling sword fight, and then it goes away. we get almost an entire minute of no talking. The barrel goes away, and with the barrel, the adventure goes away, and the music quiets down, and it's just like the three guys sitting there on the ocean, and you got Quint kind of just standing there, like there's a shot of him. It's the image that I'm using for this episode, and he's at the end of the pulpit, and there's a great shot of the boat going by with him in it, but there's another shot of him just like, first you see Hooper just kind of like, I didn't get it. Then you see Quint just kind of sitting there like, okay, now we kind of know what we're up against. It gets a little darker. I love the shot of the boat with him on it, with just those three guys on it, just the boat going. And there's it's like a close-up of Hooper, and then the great shot of Quint, and he's just sitting there with his harpoon gun, and he's just like, all right. Like he's got this twinkle in his eye, like this maniacal twinkle, like Ahab with the great white whale, right? Like he is not going to stop. He is not going to quit until he takes this shark down. Now, I wanted to talk really quick about Quint's harpoon gun. It is so cool. It's in this beautiful wooden box when he first takes it out. I'd be remiss to not, and I think I used that word again, I think I did it right, to not focus on this harpoon gun a little bit. I'm going to be referencing something from, again, probably the best Jaws resource there is, the Daily Jaws. This is a review of Quint's harpoon gun from Jaws from April 2023. I'll put a link to it in the show notes, but it says, Dirty Harry had the .44 Magnum. Tony Montana had his little friend. But surely the coolest movie weapon and one of the most unusual is the harpoon used by Quint in Jaws. I'm paraphrasing a bit. It says the harpoon gun is a Greener Light harpoon gun. Greener Light? I guess that's the brand name. With a nickel finish. It is stored in the original takedown case, and the line holder has been removed from the fore end, and the reel is instead attached to the ship to handle bigger fish like sharks. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. Okay, because you needed to be able to tie it to the barrels, I suppose. It says, made by W.W. Greener Limited gun makers of Birmingham, England, the Greener Light harpoon gun is designed for fishing and line launching. It functions by sliding a hollow harpoon over the barrel, which is propelled by firing specially made .38 special high-powered blanks. Oh, interesting. I never of course, how else would you shoot this thing without some sort of impact? The entire gun has a hard chrome lining for corrosion resistance. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's just cool seeing the actual brand of this thing. And there is also a video on this article that it says, last month, the YouTubers Kentucky Ballistics had some fun with Quint's harpoon gun from the movie Jaws, reviewing its shooting capability as in a variety of land-based tests. There's a video. So there's an actual video of someone shooting Quint's harpoon gun. I have not watched it. I'm not going to play a clip from it because I don't know how long it is. I don't know. But it's really cool, and it shows it with the line hanging off of the harpoon gun. So I'm just going to put a link to it, and you can check that out if you want to on the show notes or at the webpage. If you are listening through there, you'll see a link to it on there.
What do we do now? We win, right?
We've got one barrel on him, so we stay out here till we find him again.
Yeah, but we could radio in and get a bigger boat out here.
I always found that scene interesting in kind of its composition, its editing, just the way that it's constructed. I don't know if I'm using the right words, but you got Brody saying, what are we going to do now? We're going to go in. And Quint's like, we got one barrel on him. We're going to stay out here until we find him again. And then Brody's like, yeah, but we can radio in if we're going to. And it just fades away. And it's weird. Like it's unlike other moments in this movie. And then you got that weird whistle that of like Quint just passing the time. And it's almost like they're just saying, yeah, they're just like minimizing Brody's thoughts. kind of like the Quint is, Hooper is, they're ready to stay out there. And Steven Spielberg, the director, the editor, everyone's just like, he's just rambling. Then they're not really paying attention to him. But one thing I don't think I ever put together was that they weren't planning on spending the night. I don't know if I don't know if they packed for multiple days. It's like, oh no, we have a barrel in them, so now we're going to wait for the other barrel to come up. It's not, well, we finished day one of work and let's try again tomorrow. Like, I think that was kind of impromptu, and they're like, we got them. We got to keep at them, to make sure that we can really get them. I think, because they don't, there's no place to sleep. They don't lie down. They don't get any rest. So I think it might be common sense to everyone else, but for me, it's like a revelation. Like, oh, they weren't even expecting to be out here this long. It's just kind of the way it happened. There's no way Quint is turning around now. They have a barrel on them. They wanted to get another one, and it's just like now it's the waiting game. And I mean, what can you do when you're out on the ocean while you're waiting except hang out and drink with your crew? So we get one more great silhouette shot of Quint outside on the boat. And then we head inside. They're sharing a drink, and Brody's, worried about the bump on his head.
Dave, don't you worry about it, Chief. It won't be permanent. Want to see something permanent? Boom, boom, boom.
It leads to a classic scene in a movie filled with classic scenes.
Hey, who? You want to feel something permanent? Just put your hand underneath my cap. Just get a little lump. Knock-on-Nolan, St. Paddy's Day, Boston.
I got that beat. Some moray eel bit right through my wetsuit.
Well, nope, no, listen, I don't know about that, but I entered an arm wrestling contest in an Okie bar in San Francisco. You see this? Now I can't extend that. You know why? Got to the semifinal, celebrating my third wife's demise. Big Chinese fella, he pulled me right off.
Look at that. It's a bull shark. It scraped me when I was taking samples.
I got something for you.
And that right there is where the scene ends. But it is in a movie where you think, oh, it's the movie about the killer shark. It's like, that is the thinnest, most shallow way to describe this movie. And it's also the movie about a shark terrorizing a small town, and the town trying to kind of almost cover it up to prevent, any issues with their summer business. And again, that's all true as well. But then, there's this that has nothing to do with any of that. It's just three men. They're put together because of those circumstances. So this is kind of the effect, and the first half is the cause, and the shark. But really, the first half of the movie is what gets us to this part and this half, and this just incredible bonding moment between these three guys who would never be put together in any other aspect, at all, except for this very real emergency and situation that just requires, well, at least it requires Hooper and Quint. I mean, Brody, I guess he wants to be there to oversee it. And we always need a third man. I feel like you bring Brody for Ballas. Ballas? Did I get it right? Oh, I hope I did. But it gets cut off. It's not the full thing. There's a little stinger joke at the end. But I really love this whole inside the boat scene. It is just so, it is like, it allows this movie to take a breath. It allows the audience to take a breath and to just be like, okay, these guys are safe. They're okay. Everything's fine. They have a bead on the shark. They've got one harpoon already in there. You know, they're winning. They're up by one. And I think having this moment and having this scene and this quiet time is a great intermission for the audience. For the audience is like paranoia and anxiety, and it doesn't last that long. You know, everyone probably thinks, okay, you know, they're resting, they're getting, you know, nighttime's going to come, and then everything's going to go back to crazy tomorrow, but you got to get to tomorrow first. And so do I, because that anything that I'm talking about happens tomorrow, and we're not there yet. We're still today. We're still in now, but we're done with today, right? Yes. Now, it's already past 11. I have to get this up by midnight. Otherwise, I break my contract with myself. So I'm going to get out of here right away. But before I do, I want to let you know that Geek Mentality as a podcast is it's great to listen to, you know, while you're commuting. Maybe you're on the train right now. Maybe you're just walking to the office, or you're in your car, or you're on your skateboard or your scooter or your rollerblades or your Segway. It's also great, like maybe you're working in the yard, or maybe you're like ignoring your family or doing the dishes. I listen to a lot of podcasts while doing the dishes, or I listen to a lot of podcasts while walking my dog. And it's great that you can bring Geek Mentality with you anywhere that your phone comes with you, including, let's just say, like work conferences. You know, Geek Mentality is great with the corporate crowd. So if you are, let's say you're at a conference and you're on a break or something, and you're listening to this, and you realize some other guy probably isn't, go over to that person and say, "Hey, loser, what are you listening to?" "Well, listen to this," and then smash it in his face. Smash it in his face, just like that. Like aggressively make him listen. Or her. Well, don't smash it in her face. You smash it in his face. Just delicately tell her, "Hey, lady, listen to this." What am I talking about? What am I saying? There's a long way to say, we got another comment. We got another comment sent in from another Mike comment from Amber Brown Dog again, from Mikey B, 12 hours ago, but I just saw it 12 minutes ago. It says, "I'm at a conference." Well, see how I pulled it back together? I'm at a conference at a break. There are dozens of people are on their phones talking to clients and conducting business. We call those people nerds. That was me interjecting. So I'm at a conference and at a break, dozens of people are on their phones talking to clients and conducting business. I wonder if anyone else has Bigger Boat sung to Hearts Alone playing on their AirPods. I'd like to think that I don't know where this conference is, but I'd love to think that it's like, you know, in the middle of America, like you went to Minneapolis or something. And then literally, if I got that right, that's a pure guess. And you're just like, everyone's like, "Oh, hey, I got to call my client." I don't know. Is that, I can say Minnesota, and I don't know if that brings me into the accent. No, now I think I'm Canadian. My point is, I love the fact that Mike is listening to this, and he's not just at home listening to it. He's not just on a run. "Oh, I'm running again. I got 19 miles to run. Oh, look at me." Sorry, Chris. But I don't know. It's just something about the fact that anyone can listen to this anywhere, and Mike is literally listening to it at a work conference. It just, I don't know. It cracks me up. It brings a big smile to my face. So I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Speaking of running, I don't know if perhaps what I'm saying right now is being listened to while Chris is running. I think I said he was running something last week. I was wrong. I believe he's running tomorrow. If my text is correct, he's running 19 miles. and then he's running 19 more just to be a man who walked 38 miles to get down at your door. Look, I didn't mean that to happen. He's running a 19-mile race or route. Maybe he's not running a race. Are you winning, Chris, or is it just a route? In which case, you've won. You've won the race. You've won the route. I don't know. But anyway, 19 miles, that's crazy. The longest I've ever run in any sort of race capacity was a 4-mile race around. It was a 4-miler for St. Patrick's Day, and Chris's brother John was one of the runners, and Eric was one of the runners. Eric and I ran it together, except Eric took off because he can do that and I can't. John is like a marathon runner, and he's just running. In fact, at one point he ran back. He was like done the race, and he just ran to find me, probably to make sure I wasn't dead. It was in Lawrence, Mass, and there was this one spot where you had to climb up this hill. I thought I was going to die, but then it's a weird feeling because you get to the top of the hill, you don't die, and all of a sudden you have to go down the hill, and you feel like a gazillion dollars. It's like the best feeling in the world. And at one point I ran past John. It was a terrible idea. Like, he was running around. He's like, "Hey, Mikey, come on." And then he's running. And I said, "This is it. This is my 7th wind." And I started running, and I ran past him. And then I was like, that was really not a good idea. And I thought I was going to perish right there on the streets of Lawrence. I didn't. I made it back. Thank God for the pasta dinner. I'll do anything for a pasta dinner. Did I? I noticed when I sang Heart yesterday, bigger, I said bigger boat instead of like bigger. And I just did it again with pasta dinner. It happens. It happens. It's the curse of living in the beautiful New England state of Massachusetts. I believe I've overstayed my welcome, so I'm going to go now. Michael, thank you so much for the comment. And Chris, if you're running right now, go get him. Watch out. Whoa, look out. Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about now. I'm done. 22 days down, 9 days to go. I will be back to do this all over again tomorrow, and I hope you will be there too. But until then, you can follow me on all the social media at Geek Mentality, except TikTok, which is Geek Mentality Mike. They wouldn't let me put up a 3-minute version of the Heart song. They wouldn't let me I had to edit it down to like less than a minute. They let me put it up, but the whole thing is on YouTube. And if you go to the show notes of yesterday, you can actually watch me sing it. It is not like a lip sync. That was me, the moments of actually singing it into my little microphone, hiding in a bedroom in an empty part of the house so that I didn't frighten anybody, maybe the neighbors. That's on TikTok. That's on YouTube. Yes, the YouTube is Fans Not Experts. The Facebook is Fans Not Experts. That's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. Come on, you know that by now. Go there to find all the Geek Mentality episodes and every other friggin' podcast I do. And I hope you do. And I hope you also come back tomorrow. But until then, the beaches are closed. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song.
This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe, 'cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.